Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's exactly right. Rox Tigers going to be very happy to pick up game one and in dominating fashion here. Ultimately, though, I want to start from the very beginning because we had questions around, champion picks, given the fact that EDG had this emergency substitution. We haven't seen Koro play in a while, and we were talking about the possibility of putting him on a tank. Of course, the Poppy was banned out, but Rumble being the opted-in pick here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really terrible situation for Koro in the first place because he's picking against the Jace. And, he could have gone for a tank in some sort, but no, Poppy is gone. You can't really go Maokai up there. You can't really go Echo against Jace either. There's really nothing he can pick in this situation that can beat the Jace against Smep. So he goes for the team fighting pick and is like, I'm going to try and survive. You guys go bot lane, and then later we join together. But that just gave such an easy opening for Rox to camp a lane.
But to his credit, I mean, double flash burnt first time. He comes back second time, gets a return kill. He probably played that laning phase as best as you can when they're willing to throw that many resources at you. Then his decision-making got a little bit shaky as the ganks kept coming. The first two were actually played very well, and then he started flashing a little bit trigger happy, and it's just a slippery slope.
Well, it's also incredibly difficult to play the laning phase in the side lanes when you're dealing with Aurelion Sol. Just give Aurelion Sol to Kuro. Don't bother about laning. Just never be there. Push and roam, push, roam. And if you can roam to the top side, it's the implication that he's going to top that makes him have to back off. I mean, you know that Aurelion Sol can roam at level 1. We saw CLG do it to Rox. I'm sure they picked this up themselves, especially with the likes of maybe a Caitlyn. And you kind of have to give him some credit, although I think that the pick might have been a little bit difficult, maybe a Gnar.
Again, problem is the fact that you give away Jace, you don't have a pick against it, so that now means for next game, if you don't have an answer, you got to ban the Jace, and then suddenly you got to remove some of the jungle bans maybe, or you got to remove at least the Jhin ban. But then you also look at Aurelion Sol, which I think is the perfect pick for Rox Tigers in the mid lane, because it's not about their mid lane, it's about the side lanes. Aurelion Sol is all about going to side lanes and snowballing side lanes. So you got two picks I'm looking at. Jace, who can snowball so hard for Smep in top in a skill matchup, and then the Aurelion Sol that can impact all the lanes. Both of these picks have insane high value for Rox Tigers and have to be removed.
Yeah, game one was evidence to me that champ select is going to be a very tough puzzle for EDG to crack. But now I want to kind of identify the play styles with which each of these teams approach the game with our first replay here. Cross map, we've got Rox focusing in on the top lane while EDG goes bot.
So we figured that Rox will be focusing the top side. This is a nice little flash from Smeb on top of another flash from Peanut. But on the reverse side, we're going to see EDG going for it, but this is going to be the world's worst Lumberjack. I don't know what Clearlove is doing. He pretty much lost this play for EDG.
Yeah, and this in the end nearly was a 3-for-1 still with EDG going down. Mako actually gives dangerous game over to Kuro at the back end of this play, and it means they will be able to do it. Sure, Def missed ulti and a couple of Qs here, but realistically, this is going to be a theme of the game. EDG under pressure, not mechanically executing, and Rox Tigers stepping up and getting away on slithers of health and turning that into big advantages.
It just looks like the rigged carnival for all the abilities that kept getting missed. I'm not sure what EDG was doing. We know this team as being one that can play in the best of fives, but for opening up like this, I'm a little bit worried.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you can be nervous for your first game, but Rox Tigers, they were able to execute when it mattered, and that's a problem because we look at the pick and ban phase and say that's going to be in favor of Rox Tigers due to flexibility. We look at the early game and say, okay, that's probably also a bit strong for Rox Tigers because of the Smep on top side. If you can't mechanically then execute when you actually get a chance to pick up kills, then there's no way you're going to win this game. And that is such a big problem, something we don't normally see when you look at top 8 teams in the world.
And let's go ahead and take a look at an Acer replay that shows just how good Rox can be. Party in the bot lane. Everyone's invited, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to have fun.
Let's look at Clearlove.
And one more time, Clearlove actually gets unlocked here, and the CC's burnt early, so he should be able to chase him down. Goes looking for an axe, stumbles over his own shoelaces.
Yeah, sadly for him, he didn't have vision actually in that bottom side bush, so he couldn't hit the Zyra with auto attacks until he was inside the bush. And then it was too late, he ran away. And now Koro is like, hey, I've done my job after this ulti. Let me just go back in for some reason. My entire team is low and gone, and I'm just going to walk in and die.
And the biggest thing around this play is when you watch EDG play domestically, all of the playmaking comes from the tank jungler and the tank support. They play Braum, they play Alistar, they play Rek'Sai, they play Gragas. When they are not the two champions that are hitting go, Mako on a very reactionary support, you can see how confused and lost this team looks in team fights.
And then you try and make up for a loss, really. You try and stay around and see maybe we can catch a guy if someone stays to push a tower alone. Problem is, the guy wasn't alone. That's just beautiful in the end also. Smep stays alive, doesn't get the kill. But it's one of these problems we see from teams when they kind of panic. Like, oh, we just lost that play. Let's try and stay and see if we can get something in return. And that often means you just lose even more like they did here.
Well, that's what I felt like how EDG was playing, very reactive to what Rox was trying to do. We know that they were trying to go for the top side focus, and one of the key ways to playing League is that you want to have vision in the side that you want to be making plays, and we know that EDG wanted to focus onto the bottom side, but it looks like it was just a reaction to the top side, and that just is evident with the vision. All the vision from EDG was just defensive for Koro in the top side, and that doesn't allow you to make anything happen on the map. Had the vision been bottom side, we might have seen more teleports from the Rise and focusing more of that lane.
And that's what we want to see, because we expect top lane to go down 50 CS and 2 kills. That's fine. Koro still did his job. It's the rest of the members of EDG that were so disappointing in this game.
I want to see EDG on blue side. I don't want to see Nidalee being banned because I actually think they have to be able to first pick it. Instead, you remove Elise, you remove Aurelion Sol and Jace, and you remove some of these strong Soul laners. I know Clearlove hasn't always been the greatest Nidalee, but I think you have to trust in him right now. Or give him Elise first pick, one of the two.
I mean, if Rek'Sai's not going to be there, I would rather see maybe even the likes of a Zac. He has such a massive champion pool. Maybe that champion is there.
You got to get rid of one of the two junglers.
Remove the skill shots there. I want to see him on something that's easier.
All right, but let me ask you this. We saw both teams utilize the playstyles that we expected coming in. We had Smeb with a 31 CSD at 15, whereas we had Deft dealing 46% of his team's damage in this game. Clearly, that did not work for EDG. I mean, you've already mentioned it. EDG has selected blue side. They will be going to that side. Aside from champions, like, what can they change within the game to help themselves come up with a victory?
I was just going to go with they need a bigger gun. I'm sick of seeing Ezreal like get a Jinx or a Twitch in there. If you're going to do that much damage, actually just play Protect the Deft comp. I mean, we've seen them already run Karma mid lane. Just get full supportive, because I think that that is a way that maybe you sneak a game. I have no idea anymore. That was just really poorly executed.
Well, a couple ideas there for EDG, but Rox Tigers out to a nice lead here, 1-0. When we return, Rox Tigers and Edward Gaming are back in action for Game 2.
Dong imadawa. Dong imadawa. Dong imadawa.
Knockback. Here's the ward hop in. The kick as well. Lands the Sonic Wave. That's first blood in for Peanut. Meanwhile, Prey has to do just that. He's running. Gonna have Clearlove. Ash gonna lose his life. A kill in for Prey. Rox Tigers still not saying die finally.
나이스. 얘들아.
Koro able to get away, not burning any summoners, and here's the rest of Edward Gaming. Smeb has teleport, and here's the re-engage. 2 members already picked off. Make that 3. Koro doesn't even need the snipe. A double kill for Koro. Rox Tigers convincingly take down Game 1.